Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and I'm just giving it a moment to make sure that this works and is streaming correctly. Yes, it is. Awesome. So, hi. This is... Oh wait, I meant to do the thing. Okay, Vantage Point. Right. Welcome to Vantage Point, the place for me, Glass Half Dead, to talk about subjects I want to talk about without having to care about my YouTube channel, so expect some heavy rambling content as I turn the conceal order, or what I want to talk about, to an engage order. Okay, so the Vantage Point podcast was never really begun with like a goal in mind, and today I decided I'm going to talk to myself? No, that's not right. I'm going to talk to whoever's in the chat live. But basically, I have a bunch of things that I want to say, and I can't make videos about them, and texting's way too hard, so I'm not going to do it in Discord or Reddit or Facebook or anything. So, yeah. I took a few bullet points. I'm going to do this now. Also, obviously, I've tried to make it a little bit more engaging for anybody watching. Even though it's a podcast, so you shouldn't be watching. But it does mean that, like, my script is, like, you know, too far away. I also have the compendium with me, in case I need to briefly, you know, think about things. First things first, hi, if you're in the chat, say hi, I guess, because I can actually talk to you properly today, because I don't have a guest that I need to kind of talk to more. Right, I've got some stuff to say. What am I saying? Alright, okay. Right, to kick off, I'm probably going to be talking about my channel for like just solidly for the first 10 minutes. After that, I'll get into actual kill team discussion. Yep, cool. Right, what else? Yes, hopefully chat will be here to kind of interact with me. If not, that's cool, and I'll just say my piece. This could be your podcast, and I'll move on. The other thing is, so normally when I go live with this, I do a little at everyone in Discord. I kind of do that out of respect for my partner, whoever I'm talking to, because, you know, I don't know, I want to provide value for people coming on, and a lot of people enjoy the fact that they can have some people watching them. That's a thing, but I'm not doing that now because it's just me. So live chat might literally not turn up, and that's fair enough. Warhammer World. So that was a thing I went to. I was originally to be clear, I did terribly, but that's fine. I was originally going to do my Warhammer World coverage just like I did my Bad Moon tournament coverage, but then why didn't I? Basically, it's going to be Patreon only. There you go. Tournament videos aren't exactly the best viewed content that I do, but they're fine. But like, not everybody loves them. They're not big hitters for me, and I'm just trying to kind of I'm really just kind of rethinking my content a little bit. But patrons will get access to them. Blah blah blah. Cool. I see that my internet is terrible at the moment. So if you're watching this live, I'm sorry. If you're watching this pre-recorded, great. No problems for you. Right. Oh, I'm just going into this, aren't I? Okay. So my phone is dying, which might sound like a bit of an odd segue, and why am I talking about this in a podcast about Kill Team? But like I said, I'm talking a little bit about my channel here. This is relevant. So my phone is dying, but I just ordered a new one, the iPhone 13 Pro. Pretty hyped for that. No idea when it turns up. It's also my first time ever using an iPhone, but I decided to swap over because the iPhone gets all the cool camera gizmos. Couple of months ago, I was thinking like, oh, how can I make more engaging, like interesting content? I thought maybe vlogs is something I could look into, or not even just vlogs, but just like being outside when I record things. Then obviously I can't use my good camera when I'm outside, so I'd have to use something else. My current phone's dying, and you can get like a whole bunch of little cool lenses and microphones, but inevitably they're for the latest iPhone version, not always for every Android phone. So I thought, right, I'm upgrading. I'm going to get that. Oh, hi chat. Thanks. that was a huge ramble, right? So basically, I want to have access to potentially a whole bunch of gizmos so that I can do like a more interesting experience for the people. There you go. Why is this relevant? Because it's going to be used in the streaming of games. Not just the streaming of games, but also the recording. Obviously, those are technically different things. And the reason that's relevant right now is because once it turns up, my patrons have hit my first kind of goal that I have laid out on my Patreon. I didn't really think too much about it, but I'm now committing to a battle report a month, and so I need to figure that out. I've already told my patrons roughly what I'm thinking. Is that true? I think I have, probably, sure. Or I've told people. I can never remember where I've said things. So anyway, so I'm going to be doing a battle report a month at least. I do hope more, but at least a battle report a month. The first one is going to be patrons only, and I'm actually going to be doing a lot of, like, please tell me if this is good or not. What would you like changed? And that's going to be like a patron only thing. You can kind of hopefully guide the channel. I hope I get some good feedback from you guys there. But yeah, there you go. So battle reports are coming. I'm hoping middle of October, but we shall see. Right. I have I see people are talking in chat. So hi. Yes. Hi chat. You can get a double. You know what? Yeah. No. Actually, sorry, Joshy Josh. Nobody gets a double hello anymore. It's now a circle hello. So circle hello to all live chat. Yeah, I figure people call me Glass, right? I know that Beerenid, whenever he talks to me, he calls me Glass. I like Glass, yeah. T's with me, Academic Cree. Bat reps, hell yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like my name, the channel name is Glass Half Dead. I'm Andrew or Andy, whatever. But nobody calls me Glass Half Dead. That's way too long. So you just call me Glass, right? Like I think Glass is a good enough name, and I hope that people mentally think of me as Glass as opposed to the full channel name. No, please don't call me my human name. I agree. I'm an ephemeral being on a, on YouTube, on a screen. I'm not a real person. Okay, so right, let's keep going. Glass half square. Yeah, maybe. Let's talk about the Custodes video. So obviously this is just me just doing whatever, talking about whatever I want to talk about. The Custodes video that I put out yesterday? Today? I don't know. It was such a weird gaslighting mind screw for me, honestly. So in my mind, I went into it to just lay things out, but I didn't want to like flame Games Workshop or the game, because I assume it's going to get fixed. To me, I was just kind of marking a point in time, saying, hey, Custodes, right? But then, people... yeah, it was odd. It was odd. So to me, it was just like a heads up, marking a point in time. But I kind of got attacked from multiple sides. To be honest, it really got me down. To be honest, like, I interacted with the negativity too much, and I think I'm going to take that as like a good learning point. So I will definitely in the future not interact with negativity so much. If I kind of get any negative comments, I'm just going to ignore them. As opposed to in this where I attempted to justify myself on the negativity a little bit. But there you go. Yeah, and so the idea that I misremembered the wording on 2 ploys and that invalidates the entire video, and all the multiple other points I made is just really frustrating to me. Yeah. Because like, so this is one of the few videos that I've made where I actually enjoyed, like I enjoyed the process and I thought that the end product was actually good. I thought it was much more engaging because I was stood up like I am now. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a good end product. I thought that I did a good job of presenting myself, a good job of presenting the arguments, possible solutions, etc. And to be kind of ignored on every level outside of the fact that I got 2 rules wrong, frustrating, that's for sure. It's kind of similar to battle report channels, actually. Like, you know, some people over on Reddit or wherever say they will never ever watch a Tabletop Titans battle report because they get like 3 rules wrong per game. But like, I don't really care about that because it doesn't really change the point of the video they're making. It's probably something to do with different personalities that watch versus create content in the Warhammer community, I suspect, but whatever. It is what it is. So, yes, takeaway there. Less negative. Do not engage in negativity. There will always be negativity, but learn how to take it. Unusual rule situations and how to resolve them. Yeah, so I actually have a script written on, you know, I've titled it in my Word doc. I've just titled it, you know, this like top 5 rules you're playing wrong, right? Because that's always a goer. But I don't know. I haven't gotten around to making it yet. Like it's written, it's there. I'm going. Until today, I was going to attempt to do a bullet point video on it to make it a little bit more engaging, a little bit of freestyle, and then fix it in the edit. That's how I handled the Custodes video. But after today, I think maybe I need to just sit down and read that. Yeah. People be salty. It's a good talking point. Fair enough. Accents happen recording is hard. I hate most of mine. That's fair. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Obviously, I'm frustrated that the entertainment of the video wasn't appreciated, but I accept that when you're making arguments about rules and that they are broken, you kind of need to present the rules correctly. I knew the rules, and that was just my presentation. That was definitely a mistake. Not that I got the rules wrong per se, but that I didn't put more of an emphasis on the fact that me knowing the rules doesn't make a difference. I was trying to point out, look, we have data points from many different skill levels. This is the issue. I failed in the presentation as opposed to the data failed, I suppose. Vocal minority, yeah, they are brutal. It is what it is. The Rimmer Risk story from Red Dwarf. I actually don't know the Rimmer Risk story. I obviously know Rimmer, big Red Dwarf fan. Assuming we're talking about the stuff from 20 years ago, I don't know any of the new stuff. I feel you, man. I've done a lot of bat rep for Rain in Hell with a friend, and got torn up because we got rules. Oh man, yeah. You know, it's honestly a fine balance because, in a very genuine sense, getting rules wrong does drive engagement, does make people comment. So it's not actually the craziest thing to do, but yeah. Yeah. You expect your custodies to be just 50 minutes of you screaming ceaselessly into the camera. I know, right? I thought I did particularly well. Yeah, so that's the ultimate question, right? Did the controversy create clicks? How did it do for the channel analytics? Average. It's slightly above average, but it's not like a blowaway success. It is getting a lot more downvotes than usual, but actually, unless those downvotes go ahead and affect the clicks, views, watch time, and click-through impression rate, the downvotes don't actually make a difference. So, although I have noted I get a lot of downvotes compared to other content creators, and perhaps I should take that as something that is indicative. Perhaps I am creating a few too many enemies in the community. I get a lot of hate watchers, that's for sure. Like all of my videos get 5 downvotes just immediately, sort of thing. So it is what it is. Yeah. From Waxworld. Oh yeah, I know Waxworld. I do enjoy some Red Dwarf. Good stuff. Yeah. Trying to see, they were shamefaced or supportive, and they mostly seem a good bunch. We just want to get things fixed. The Talons Discord. I didn't know the Talons of the Emperor had their specific Discord, but cool. What was controversial? I just made a few mistakes in my presentation of the arguments. That's all. Cool. How has that occurred? Oh, I actually have no idea how I have hate watchers. Yeah, don't know. I think I might know now, because a few of them turned up in the Custodes video, but I don't really want to go into that drama. Long story short, I banned someone a few weeks ago from my Discord. He's the first and only person I've ever banned, and he said some really nasty stuff multiple times to multiple people. Yeah. So I'd given him warnings. He continued. I said, you know, my one rule is no personal insults. Anyway, let's keep going. So, so I have, this is going to shock people. I have friends. Yeah, I know, right? And they've always been supportive of my channel. They don't really, you know, they're not Warhammer players, but they know what Warhammer is because they are, you know, males my age in England, so they know what that is. What do they do? So, and then, you know, like when my channel still had like 10 viewers, I sent this to them and said, hey, can you watch my videos, please, and like and stuff? And they said, yeah, sure, because, you know, try to support me. And, you know, 3 years ago, that was. Now, just literally last week, one of them said, because he still occasionally watches my videos, because obviously he's subscribed to me and gets the notifications and stuff, and to be supportive, he watches the videos. And so he said, oh, you know, I was watching your latest video, whatever it was, irrelevant. And then I went on a YouTube rabbit hole of how to play Warhammer videos. So I was like, oh, weird, okay. And he said to me, hey, do you want to, you know, do you want to teach me? Now this is, to understand, this is a bit of a shocker to me, because I've never, all of the people I know that play Warhammer are people that have, if I would consider, you know, acquaintances, friends, whatever, have become those things to me through Warhammer. I have never taken someone from outside Warhammer and said, let's play Warhammer, I'll teach you. I did once bring a girl onto the channel on Twitch to teach her the old kill team, because she's a friend. But like, she was doing that for me to be on the channel. Like, she wasn't doing that because she wanted to play Warhammer. So weird. So I don't know what to do with that. How can I best exploit this? So I have definitely one, but maybe 3 guys that are willing to be on camera. They know nothing about Warhammer. They've never played, but they don't play board games. They don't play tabletop games. They're computer gamers, if anything. And like they're saying, hey, you can teach us Warhammer. Like, we want to play Warhammer. And it's like, oh, okay. I mean, that's genuinely interesting, right? Maybe. I don't know how to present it to people, though. That'll be difficult. Sorry, right. I've got to scroll back through chat. Sorry, guys. Organizing a campaign for Kill Team in the near future. Oh, sorry. If you have ideas on what I should do for that, let me know. Because, like, I could just stream the games, you know, just stream me teaching someone. But that's going to be, I mean, you have to be a diehard fan to want to watch that, because learning a game through a stream is terrible. Like, it should always be edited when you're learning. So, thank the haters for engagement. I actually went through a phase of just doing that, just saying thank you to everything. It didn't really work for me, and I gave up on that. You just assumed the downvotes were just people fat fingering their phone. You know what, Witch Doctor? That's possible. I hadn't considered that. It could be that those regular downvotes are actually my most admiring followers that are there immediately. As soon as they see that, they're like, I've got to click play. And they accidentally miss and hit downvote, yeah. One thing wrong versus hours of content. I'll take that trade. Yeah, me too. You know, honestly, I've kind of pigeonholed myself a little bit, because I think, so obviously the majority of my viewers know me from the end of the last edition of Kill Team, where I was a pretty competent player. Like, you know, I knew the rules pretty damn well. I've completely forgotten them now, by the way. I'm not sure I could even play a game anymore. I've completely forgotten how line of sight works in the old Kill Team. Like, I literally don't know. Weirdly. But like, I was a competent player. I could handle pretty much any faction to a decent standard. But it took me like a year and a half to get there. And now, a lot of my viewers are going to see me learning a game. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. I'm going to lose a lot of games until I get there again, because that's just how I am. I'm not, like, I don't learn particularly quickly, you know? I'm not naturally a good player. So, I'm going to take a lot of shit, I know, but whatever. Yeah. If you can't get aboard with respect, people can just F off. It's not like you're milking a cash cow. You're genuinely trying to share your hobby and helping your community. Yes. Yes, I am. Like, I mean, that's exactly what this episode is. I'm here because I just want to chat about some Kill Team with people. Like, very genuinely. But it's not I don't feel 100% genuine saying that there's no other benefit to that on my channel. Like, I do make ad revenue. I am now getting free stuff from GW. Not as much free stuff as I'd like, I will say, but you know, you take what you can get. Oh, I'm gonna turn the light on. My bad. There we go. You're not even gonna notice that, are you? So like, to say that there is no ulterior motive, like 100%, isn't quite true. But I would say that the growth of my channel has become part of my hobby. Like, they are intrinsically linked. If I were to lose my channel, I would probably stop hobbying right now. So whatever. Yeah, but I don't know. You know, there's a link there. And I do want to grow my channel. I can always flip it round and say, you know, it's still a very true statement that if I truly believe that I have good content about Kill Team and I want more people to play Kill Team, then I should do everything I possibly can to engage well with the algorithm so that more people see my content, because I believe that my content is good for people to watch, right? Like, if I genuinely think I'm helping people, then to help more people, which is naturally something one would want to do, you have to do things a certain way. So you could view it that way, but you know, it's like, it's all meshed together. It's impossible to say. It's always nice when people say, you got me into, feel happy. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I would say, man, am I just rambling about my channel for it? It was meant to be like 10 minutes, my bad. What are the best things, like, what are that, I don't want to say happy, because am I ever happy, you know? But one of the happiest things I did was when I covered, for the old edition, the LVO terrain. You know, LVO put together by Kill Team Stream, with specific terrain made by, oh no, his name's right at the tip of my tongue. How am I forgetting his name? Dakota. Yes, thank you. I can't. Luster's Workshop, it's called. You know, like a relatively expensive terrain kit he's selling. But for the edition, I thought it was really good, so I didn't have an issue with like promoting it or anything. I didn't want to paint it because I hate hobby. But after I made that video, he made a sale that was directly because of my video, and I felt really good about that. Like, yeah, just helping other people do what they want to do and love is really, like, I probably felt better about that than anything else I had done on my channel for multiple months at that time. So that was cool. Roy Hodgson, former England manager, really loves Warhammer. Okay, thanks. I don't play football. I don't like football. Football's a thing, but that's good to know. Yeah, I mean, anyone in England probably knows what Warhammer is. Yeah, yeah. Idea, making a documentary series. I teach my friends Kill Team. So that's so here's the thing, right? It's a really cool idea. right? That I would take, you know, and people have done this before. It's like a zero to hero type thing. It's I take someone that has never touched the game before and I take them to a top 3 win at LVO, something like that, right? It's the same as a vlog, basically. If you're only doing it with the intention of it being a good series, like a good narrative arc over the span of multiple months, and you're doing it for a few dedicated people, then that's fine. But that sort of vlog, like extended vlog with like multiple episodes, just doesn't get views, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. Dire Avengers, yes, my man. How's it going? Get ready to get stomped. Why do you go with Dire Avengers? Genuine question. Too much time on the haters. Tell me to build my GSC, please, because I'm holding on to start collecting box. Hey, so GSC, we believe they're coming like December, right? I'd say buy more start collecting boxes because those are good boxes. Just throwing that out there. People love documents. I think you mean documentaries. Yes, but this isn't a Netflix special. This is a, you know, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so that was my friends, and then like 5 hours of chat. Yeah, cool. Okay, so my current interests, right? You're making a kill team for the last edition. Why? Hashtag dead game, mate. Come on. Get with it. Maybe do a campaign series. Again, any series just doesn't perform well. I don't know. Optimum list for craft rolls. I honestly can't remember. Dire Avenger Exarch with 2 guns. Banshee Exarch. A normal striking Scorpion as a demo. And then I think it was just Guardian spam, if I recall off the top of my head. Yeah. Terrain video 2? Oh no, I need to think about that for way longer. Terrain video 2. Yeah. Okay. My current interests in Kill Team are Tau, Craft World, Necrons, Marines, and all of them. Because I think they would port into 40k well, whether it's because I already have a few of them built up, or because I know that I can paint them quickly, like Necrons, or I think they're cool, like Tau, then yeah, all of those. Possibly Demons. Again, Demons because I can paint them super quick, and I think they look pretty good, even after I've done it. Tyranids, kind of a similar thing, but Tyranids have a big issue, actually. Tyranids right now, I believe, are kind of top tiering kill team. So, and you know me, I'm a faction hipster. I don't really want to play the top tier team. So, anything else? Oh yeah, so this is another one. So right now we're actually talking about the kill team. How far in are we? 28 minutes, perfect. So, despite a few outliers, I think obviously Custodes, we don't need to talk about them. I think Harlequins are just a little bit too powerful. Not necessarily because of how killy they are. I think their killiness is very well balanced with their 8 wounds. And their defense seems fine. Like, they can just melt. But it's their movement shenanigans. Yeah, that's what really does it for me with the Harlequins. I think because they have access to fly, in a similar way with Custodes and Brotherhood of Demigods, where they just break a fundamental rule of the game, that fly on the entire 8 model team is... it allows them to play the game completely differently, but I don't feel like the rest of their stats are completely different. Yeah, there you go. So I think Harlequins need a little bit of tuning in that regard. I think they're just a tiny bit too powerful. I don't know how to balance them though, because they've already kind of got a balance in place, which is they don't have any long range weapons. They've only got pistols, and in my mind, I think that's the balance. But I don't think it's enough, because the whole point about those 6-inch weapons is that you have, like, it's harder to get to line up shots, but not for Harlequins, because they just fly anywhere. So Harlequins, okay, I'm talking about factions, not fire teams. I'm talking about the full kill team. So for example, heavy intercessors are bad. Okay, I'm not denying that. They are very bad, but Space Marines as a whole, they're probably fine, I think. Only in Death does Duty End is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for them, I'm not going to lie. And I don't think Marines are anywhere near top tier. I think they're firmly middle of the pack, and maybe slightly below. They're probably slightly below middle of the pack, I would say. But I don't think they're bad. It's just heavy intercessors specifically kind of suck. Yeah. So, but all in all, I'm actually pretty happy with the general balance of the game. You know what? Yeah, Craft Worlds. Craft Worlds are my other pick. If I had to pick one faction that I believe is the bottom, I probably pick Craft Worlds. And yeah, 8 models. I mean, you can get 9, but it's 8 really. 8 models, 7 wounds. Meh. You know, 5 up saves. They're not. It's not like there's nothing to them, but I just don't think there's quite enough, and I don't quite know what I would change to bring them up to being good enough. I think, for example, if you find yourself with objectives that don't have cover surrounding them, you can't score things, and that's a pretty big issue. You're only 2 APL, so you can't perform actions very well, and you've only got 8 models. You're not durable. You have some shenanigans when it comes to shooting in your rangers. And to be fair, the Avenger Shuriken catapults with rending, I think rending is really good, so I'm okay with that. I prefer lethal 5 up, but whatever. But I think they're just too weak to play the game. Again, when I'm talking about this, of course, it doesn't mean nobody can ever win with Craft Worlds. But I do believe that, you know, if someone is taking a mid of the pack team, and then these 2 players are the same skill level, then whoever's taking the Craft Worlds is probably going to lose that one. You tweak their save. What a mad lad. I've got to scroll up. I spent too long nattering. Sorry. Being mainly Marines. Okay. Collecting other tips from people. I've got a video for tips on them coming. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think Marines are fine. I think Marines are fine. Their hide, unless they're within 2, really got me. Oh, I think that was clearly about something that I can't remember what I said. Tweak their rules. Okay. Domino field all day. Oh, domino field. Right, gotcha. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Domino field. Domino field only works on conceal as a potential tweak. The thing there is that doesn't have much of an effect, actually. Oh my god, am I saying this to Micromancer? Jesus Christ. Alright, so I know what you're saying, but if you think about it, because of the way domino field works, you're always going to so it turns off if you shoot, which means effectively you are on a conceal order, right? Like, until you activate and shoot, you're essentially on a conceal order. It doesn't matter that you're on an engage order until the following turn, at which point it matters. Yes, I realize that. But I guess my point there is, yeah, I don't know, I suppose it stops them from getting basically 4 turns of undisputed shooting. I don't know. Yeah, you're gaining in the follow-up turns, just not the first turns. It would definitely be a nerf to them. And it would allow others to, yeah, maybe. I've got the phone here, mouse here, and I'm scrolling up and down the chat now. Sorry. Tell about him. Yeah, heavy Intercessors suck. Primaris for the hipster / hard mode? No. Oh, hipster mode. Yeah, sure. That's fair. I don't think they're terrible, but they're certainly not top tier. Yeah. Okay. Why am I saying it again? You guys are responding to me 2 minutes ago when I was saying it. Sorry. Oh, your painting motivation is being sapped. No. Here's the thing. Because you can be a hipster now. Because here's how it works, right? I hate it, but I'm technically, and for those not watching, I'm doing the finger quotes, an influencer. Like, I think actually technically I'm a micro influencer. But if I go out and say one faction is underpowered, everyone is going to believe what I say. So, if you then run around with craft worlds, you know, that people are going to think, oh, well, he's playing well with an underpowered faction. And I can say that about any faction. It doesn't have to be true. People just believe stuff. It's crazy. What do I use for wound markers? Oh, tiny dice. Yeah. Ages ago, I bought some really, really small D6 dice. I think they're like 3 mil. They're not the best, I'm going to be honest. At Warhammer World and Bad Moon Cafe, most people are just using D12s. So, yeah, D12s. They seem to work fine. I mean, they do clutter up the board more than my tiny dice. My tiny dice do look very cute, I will say. But whatever. Only one person was actually tracking wounds on their data card. Everybody else was doing it on the board. And then if you're tracking it on the data card, the thing to do is just when they're injured, just put an injured token next to them still on the board so that you know roughly. But, Playing Marines is really fun now. I like playing Marines. I think they're fun. I agree. Table on turn 3, but 1 on VP. That's cool. Small tweak, not a big one on Battle Domino Field. Okay. Oh, wait. Where are we? Oh, no. Yeah, where are... Oh, I've lost it. Okay. Needs here. Okay, good. You're like the Orc Mind. Yes, I am a Gestalt entity. That's true. Warcry Wound Markers. I'd considered the Warcry Wound Markers, actually. But I couldn't be bothered to find my Warcry stuff, so I didn't. There you go. LED app control bases as stand. Okay, so I was thinking about this just earlier today, right? Like, instead of having to swap your order token, you just put a little transparent acrylic rim on the bottom of your base, and then you have 2 colors of LEDs inside, right? You know, red and blue. Red means engage, blue means cover, and you just, and when they're red, when they've done their thing, you just flip them. Anyway, whatever. You get it. That's way too much effort, I then decided, though, just to be clear, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, right, let's talk. So I've got Heretics, Marines, Craft Worlds, Harlequins. I kind of already talked about Harlequins. Let's talk about Heretics. So here's something that I'm trying to get my mind around. Heretics have 6 Marines, all of Primaris level, right? So 12 wounds, okay? Does that mean that they are worse than other Marine factions because they get the 6? Does that mean that only in Death Does Duty End is considered so powerful that, yeah, you need at least 1 extra Marine to make up for that? Because the other Marine factions, Death Guard and Thousand Sons, they have other things, right? They've got a Psyker, they've got Disgusting Resilient, they have things to make up for it. But Heretics at 6 are just kind of chilling. And then if you run, like, is a tactical squad just straight up stronger than a Heretic squad? Because they're both 6, but the tacticals get only Death to Duty End. I know there's only 1 wound difference, right? 11 to 12. I don't know. Heretics. Is their equipment just so much more limited and worse? I don't think it is. I think they've got some good equipment. Are their ploys just so much worse? I don't think so. No, they are. Sorry, they are definitively worse because they actually only have hateful assault and malicious volleys, and that's pretty much it. Because everything else is cultists. I don't know. They also obviously don't have access to a huge array of equipment, but they are there. What are we looking at? The big 40k Chaos Marines are at 1 wound. Yeah, I heard people saying that what they're talking about, like, oh, what's it called? That thing. The thing with the Veterans of the Long War. People were saying Veterans of the Long War is why they get 1 extra wound. That doesn't make any sense. That's just because they need to have a way to primarisify the stats without the models. So I don't know what they're talking about there. Skullmuch88, hey, glass off the channel. Thank you. Love you. Love your name apart from 88. I'm going to hope that's the year and not a reference to something else, but I'll go with it. You know, do the non-compendium kill teams feature in tournament play? Yeah, of course. So at Warhammer World, Commandos came 3rd. I know, and there were actually quite a few Commandos, like players. Over in Spain, they had a tournament on Saturday, I think, and Vet Guard won. Or they were at least top 4. I don't know if they actually won, but Vet Guard were there. I think a lot of the beginner tournaments aren't actually going to have too many of Commandos and Vet Guard. There will probably be plenty of Hunter Clade because their rules aren't confusing, right? I think people are still generally staying away from the really confusing rules. None showed up in MD tournament. I don't know what the MD tournament is, but fair enough. Okay, nothing untoward. I should hope so. Good. I don't support that sort of thing. Good stuff. Heretics, yeah, they confuse me a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Good. Yeah, I don't really. Do I have a conclusion here? No, I'm just asking questions. Heretics. Okay, so the reason I'm thinking about this is because of Death Guard, and at first I had assumed that both Death Guard and Thousand Suns would be played 3 Marines plus whatever the other thing they can take is, right? Oh, I'm losing the light, so you're starting to lose the the granularity on this. This green screen is going to go back quickly. Luckily, it's a podcast, so it doesn't matter. Is Maryland the place where Janice played over the weekend? Is that what I'm hearing? I don't know where Maryland is. Yeah, my bad. Necrons, nice. As I was saying earlier, Necrons are the ones I'm thinking about taking somewhere. So, well, taking somewhere. I'm considering collecting. Yeah, so I had assumed that the Marines would always be best when paired with their weaker fire team, but Death Guard seem to be pulling in all of the results at the moment. Like, they're doing okay, but they're always better as 5 Marines instead of 3 Marines and a bunch of Poxwalkers, which confuses me greatly, I'm going to be honest. But it then makes me think, does that mean the Heretics are also better at 6 Marines? Or do they have enough ploys and weird things to make their what are they called? I want to say Heretics, that's the name of the faction. Cultists. Like, are their cultists significantly better than the Poxwalkers and the Zangors? I don't know. Like, I will say Thousand Suns, for the most bizarre reason, are a bit of a blind spot for me. I know that people originally said they're completely overpowered, but then I think a tournament happened and they didn't win, so everybody said they're completely underpowered and they're boring. The reason I haven't looked at them is because I have a fully painted faction of them, except when I was making my Zangors, I didn't build a banner bearer, which means I don't have a legal Zangor team. So, but actually something I do want to do with them is possibly try running them with just the 5 Marines, see how they perform there. Because, all AP1 bolters could be good, right? And I've got all the other options. Not that you need many options for the Thousand Suns, obviously, but whatever. So yeah, I'm just confused because Death Guard are strong, basically. Right, back to chat. back to chat. Are Necrons still ridiculous? Nope, they're not. Janice 1, I'm Isaac / hobby hero. Oh, hello. Yes, no, I had figured out that you were hobby hero, yeah. Oh, yeah, so that's awesome. I hope you had fun there. That's where I know that the Michael Serra guy posted like a report of that, which I read. It seemed good, which is awesome. Good to see Janice out there. You know, as kind of mentioned, you know, get one of these experienced playtesters to take the supposedly broken team and just stomp the local competition to show that, hey, look, this is an issue, which is good to do. I mean, a shame for the people that were there, you know, because they hardly got a fair fight playing against someone that's been playing for over a year and with the most completely OP broken team. But I guess it's got to happen once, right? And hopefully only once, he says, knowing that there's already been like 3 or 4 tournament results of them. Colors are good because they had model count and AP to get objectives in this. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, because you could argue exactly the same about both Zangors and Poxwalkers, and those are proved, though at least Poxwalkers are terrible. I don't think anyone's taking Poxwalkers. Lack of ploys for cultists makes them really situational. 6 Marines feel like possibly the best Marine chassis. 12 wounds, burn, and greater. Yeah, I agree. The thing is, Micro, I agree with what you're saying, but I want to think that I'm wrong. When it comes to the cultists, obviously the standout ploy is dropping like a flamer, or 2 flamers, or, well, 1 flamer, you can't take 2. Can you? Doesn't matter. Like next to the enemy kind of thing. And I don't know if that's worth it to then take an otherwise poorer kill team into the field. I don't know. As I say, these are all just thoughts that I'm throwing out there to allow people to also consider. At some point, I'll sit down and really think about things, and more than that, play games. The problem is, I don't have time to play games right now, and I'm not going to have time to play games for the next month. It's really frustrating, because one thing I'll spoil for you is after Warhammer World, even though I lost 4 games in a row, I just want to play more games. I can't. Very frustrating. It's cool to meet Janice. Few people use Custodians together too. It's cool. I felt bad for my friend who just took him because he made them last and had no idea. Nah, well, yeah. It is what it is. Like, yeah. Custodians can be beaten. Just probably not when they're being played by someone that is so much more experienced than everybody else. Is probably what I'd say. And player skill, you know, I don't know if they're a good player or not. Okay, let's rush this along, because this is just not good. Okay, all right. Green screen is looking bad now. Marines are impossible to balance due to their number of data sheets. Oh, so that's something I wrote. Yeah, so going back very briefly to the Marine discussion, they have so many options. How do you go about balancing all of that? I guess you have to look at, let's say, Infiltrators versus Intercessors, right? Now, maybe you're going to stop me there and say, oh, actually, Andy, there's a very good reason to use either in specific situations. But when I'm coming to roster space, I'm not putting both of those teams on my roster, right? I might take one of them because I want access to smoke grenade capability. So it would then be either them, so Infiltrators, Intercessors, or Reavers. Those are the guys, well, ignore scouts, that get access to the smoke grenade. But then I'm probably not going to take another one. I realize that they all perform. So basically, Reavers are your close combat. Infiltrators are your long range. Intercessors are your, can do a little bit of both. Your middle of the road guys. And I kind of think if you're going to have multiples of those teams on your roster, you have a plan. You think, okay, if I'm up against Team X, I take Reavers. If I'm up against Team Y, and I know I don't want to close the distance, I take Infiltrators. And then my other 10 spots are taken up by whatever, Death Watch, and then a whole bunch of multiple options for them, because that's the other thing you want to consider. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I'm clearly lost about in what way are Marines impossible to balance, specifically because of the number of datasheets. I'm not talking about are Marines in general balanced. I'm talking about, is there abundance of datasheets an issue for them? Or, as it seems to be, we have one or two that everybody seems to want to take, and then everything else is like, oh, I'm not going to touch that, like heavy intercessors, assault intercessors. Although, to be fair, I think the interesting thing there is, so like, intercessors aren't bad. Like, they've got decent shooting, but they're not exactly good, and they don't have access to smoke grenade because of their Phobos, because they don't have Phobos armor. So, yeah. And I don't even look at assault intercessors. I know that they're not bad with that 5 attacks. I believe they're 3-4. You know, like, it's not a bad stat line, especially when you consider they've got 12 wounds. But I'd probably rather take Reavers, even though they're a 4-up, 3-4. You're losing an attack. A 3-up. I meant 4 attacks. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I'd always probably rather have access to a smoke grenade. Yeah. That's Marines. Craft Worlds. I've kind of already touched on Craft Worlds. But let's just quickly talk about why. So I think they suck a bit. I don't really know how I'd fix them. The reason I think they suck is partly because it seems like they're hardly even being taken to tournaments. I think from the results I've seen, they've only been taken to one tournament, which was in Spain over the weekend, and they came 16th, and that's kind of it. I was like, oh, now is that nobody's playing them, or is that why is nobody playing them? I will say, just as an anecdote on the outside of things, we didn't see many Eldar players in the old edition of Kill Team until they started winning. Then a lot of people started playing Eldar. Before then, there were only some diehards. Nobody else played them, really. Or, you know, maybe it's just you buy a blue car, suddenly on the road all you can see are blue cars, right? Who knows? Yeah. How would I fix them? Okay, let's think. So I think, I mean, look, I'd love to say, oh, first things first, what do they have? I've got, hold on, let's find out. They have, I'll use the proper name, and as we know from the Custodes book, I won't make a mistake with the rules. First of the aspects, 1 CP, use this tactical ploy during a friendly Dire Avenger operative's activation, add 1 to its APL. This sucks, right? This should clearly be adding, giving you an extra APL to use, as opposed to just an extra APL to hold a point with, right? But there you go. That needs to be fixed. I also feel like something needs to be done to their movement, and the reason I say movement is because I feel like, look, there's lots of things you could do to fix a faction. Always, you can always just look at a faction, say it's broken, give them all +1 APL. Boom, you fixed a faction. Congrats. But that's not necessarily in keeping with the way the faction's laid out. I think what they would need is a little bit of extra movement in places. But how do you apply that? Do you just say that fleet, which is anytime you make a fullback or a normal move, you can do a dash along with it? Should that just be baseline? So all craft worlds get fleet just on as a special rule in their data card? Like, that sounds like something that Eldar would get. But is that actually fixing them? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. Harlequins, I already talked about Harlequins. That's my last bullet point there. Harlequins kind of, I already talked about what they need. Not so much how to fix them, I don't really know, but the reason they break the game is because of their movement shenanigans. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, not much to do there. Okay, that's the end of my bullet points. Oh, you see, guys, this could have been like 5 videos. Instead, I did one Vantage Point episode. Saved you from having to click through that, didn't I? You're welcome. This would have been terrible content, my god. But also would have been a hell of a lot of work editing. The other thing I'm currently thinking about right now is tokens, right? I like game bling. That's why I was so happy about getting those data cards. But nobody seems to have come out with acrylic tokens yet. A little bit sad about that, not gonna lie. We've had, so some people are 3D printing dice, which is fine. Some people have 3D printed a token, which, if they'd done that, but like in acrylic, I probably would have liked it. But I don't know, for whatever reason, the 3D printedness of it didn't really strike me. Something that could be done with tokens is having multiple colors, so different colors for engage and conceal, and possibly also different shapes. So I don't think we need to stick with a triangle, for example. Maybe you want your maybe your engage can stay a triangle because it's a pointy shape, you know, but then your conceal can be a circle because it's round, like you're hiding, you know. It's like the intent of a shape, I suppose. And then also deal with different colors, so red versus blue. So red and red triangle engage. Oh wait, you should totally just have it red, black triangle to go with the the geometric shape, shouldn't you? Black triangle is an engage. White circle is a conceal order, right? You'd still need a point on that circle so that you can, you know, tell whose it is. But I think that would just add a little bit of extra, like, visual clarity to the board. Obviously, I'm thinking about this because I haven't had a problem with this when I've been playing the game, right? I haven't really cared. But as someone that's thinking about battle reports and wanting to be able to very quickly see what a board state is, I think it would be quite good to be able to see the color and the shape. The color will stand out. You'll see that, although black doesn't stand out. I have to think about that. And you'll see, he's on a white order. I know that's a conceal. Something like that. So, but nobody's done any acrylic tokens, which kind of sucks. There you go. For engage conceal. Yeah, so I haven't, so Mr. Later reached out to me and said I was thinking of doing new dice. Are there any like extra symbols you'd like on them? Like, do you think would be good on them? And unfortunately, I didn't know enough about the game at that point. I could probably add a few things now, but obviously he's already made them, so it's too late. But I don't want dice. There you go. I don't really have a reason for that. I liked the dice in the old edition. In this edition, I like my tokens. Yeah, there you go. I like just flipping them. I think it's easier to flip a token than to each time pick up a dice and figure out where the other face is. There you go. I totally get that he probably just did the faces on the opposite side, so you're still just flipping the dice. But yeah. Lots of stuff on Etsy. Light grey? Sure, could be light grey, whatever, man. Whatever. Okay, guys, right. Thank you very much for coming along to my TED Talk about Kill Team, Vantage Point TED Talk edition. I now have to go and do things. This has been weird. I don't know if this was good. I don't know if I'll do this again. But you know why I'm doing it? Because I forgot to reach out to anybody else to say, hey, do you want to talk about my podcast? So whatever, right? Whatever. Oh, because I was just so busy thinking about Warhammer World. And now I've got the LGT coming up, and then I'm away for like 2 weeks solid. So I'm gonna have to figure that out because that's gonna be a terrible time to be away. But whatever. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming along. This has been Glass. Stay cool, I guess. Yeah. Square goodbye, my homies. I have to walk awkwardly close to the camera, sorry. There we go. I found it. Thanks for watching, guys. This is going to be live here for people to watch for like another hour or two. Then it's going to go over to YouTube where it becomes patrons only. So if you want it over there, check it out. Alright. Bye guys. Stay gangster.